My name is Tom Katzenmeyer. I'm the CEO of the Greater Columbus Arts Council. Emmanuel Remy, on behalf of the 15,000 people who work in the arts in Columbus, let me be the first tonight to congratulate you on being appointed to Columbus City Council. It's an honor to participate in your swearing in. Thank you for asking. I want you to know that our only interest is in your success as a member of council and the success of this great city. So congratulations again. I'm going to serve as the master of ceremonies, but we're going to keep this flowing. But I want to start by introducing the elected officials and dignitaries that are here tonight. So I want to start with Mayor Andrew Ginther. Thank you, Mayor Ginther, for joining us. Greg Davies is here, who is his Chief of Staff. Council President Shannon Hardin. Greg just stuck his head in back there and waved, in case you missed him. Councilman Brown. Councilwoman Tyson, Priscilla Tyson. Councilwoman Jiza Page. Former Councilwoman Fran Ryan is with us tonight. Fran, take a wave. Fran is an inspiration to all of us. Director Tony Collins from Parks and Rec is here. Judge Paley is with us, Judge Eileen Paley. She'll be up here in a minute. And from the state legislature, we have State Representative Herschel Craig by the door there, and State Representative David Leland up here on the stage with us. So here's what we're going to do. You all have a program. I'm not going to get up and down between every speaker, but first we're going to have the invocation by Buzz Thomas. Then we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance led by the delightful children of, not yet. Wait for the key. Elliot, Catherine, and Meredith. Remy. Remarks from David Leland, State Rep. Remarks from Ty Marsh. Then I'm going to get up again and introduce a poet that we have with us this evening, and then we'll have the swearing-in ceremony. So after Ty, I'll get back up and introduce McKenna. So thank you all again for being here. And you're next.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Buzz Thomas, and I will be giving the invocation this afternoon. But before I do, I'd like to point out the debt of gratitude that we should all acknowledge for the personal sacrifices that one must make when they're engaged in public service. A big thank you for all the committee meetings attended, evenings worked, time spent away from family, cold meals consumed, all in the name of serving the best interests of Columbus. And just for a moment, I want to ask you to think back to the last time that you were at a gathering of people where almost everyone was in a celebratory mood and they were happy that somebody else was getting the reward. I believe that that speaks to the essence, to the character, to the part of Emmanuel Remy that draws us here today to collectively acknowledge that you're a good man, Emmanuel Remy. For those of you who don't know him, I'll tell you what you're going to find out about him. I sent Emmanuel a card, and I wrote in it that while I was happy for him, I was even happier for the city that we all know and love. And I'm happy for the citizens of Columbus because we're getting someone for whom the words honesty, integrity, principles, and purpose are not just words, they're values. And values along with those of hard work. They're values that govern his conduct in both in public and in private. I'm happy because the Emmanuel Remy that I know believes in the worth and dignity of all of our citizens. The Emmanuel Remy that I know believes that neither race, gender, political party, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or nationality need separate us. But rather than separating us, I know that he believes that our differences, the exchange of ideas, are things to be celebrated and used as bridges to unite us in the common purpose of bringing out the best in each and every one of us as proud Americans. I know we're getting a councilman who's going to use his leadership skills to promote compromise and cooperation, and I guarantee you that he will be at the forefront of the march that takes us from the depths of small-minded bigotry that's so prevalent in today's politics as we pursue the heights of the realization of the American ideal of justice for all. The Emmanuel Remy that I know is the embodiment of a public servant in both name and deed. And he has, like me, married way above his pay grade. And is truly a valued friend to so many of us here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer and unity. Let us bow our heads. Dear God of many names, known by many signs throughout the world, we pause at the beginning of this celebration to invoke your blessings upon Emmanuel Remy and all the members of this council. May we always see in them a dedication to service, and may they always see in us the willingness to give them the necessary support to bear the responsibility of leadership with utmost integrity, courage, and humility. May they be inspired with wisdom and compassion. And may they always stand in solidarity with the needy, the poor, and the least among us, that they endeavor to defeat prejudice, overcome divisiveness, and unify our city. May the year ahead provide this council and our other elected leaders with the ability to confront the challenges that will inevitably come, and to do what's in the best interest of this great city of ours. May they continue to remember you and practice the principles by which they pledged to serve during their terms in office. May their future meetings be typified by the words that we all hold dear, like patience, civility, honesty, and tolerance. And Lord, guide their decision-making as they propose policies and implement programs that will improve the quality of life for us all. Now, in the name of all that's holy, we bow our heads and lift up our fellow man in humility and praise to you, so that all God's people acknowledge his presence in our midst by concluding this invocation with a joyous, oh, that's so sad for one of the greatest cities in America. We're going to do that again. So let all God's people acknowledge his presence in our midst by concluding this invocation with a joyous Amen. Hallelujah.
Thank you for this opportunity today to talk about my good friend Emmanuel Remy. I've known Emmanuel for a few years, mostly in a professional capacity. We've actually worked together on a lot of different projects. Emmanuel and I, he as the president of the Northland Community Council, and the Northland community is an area that's in my district, my House district. We worked on a lot of different activities together, and I saw firsthand exactly the kind of person that the city of Columbus as a whole is going to receive as our new council person. Now, for Emmanuel, it's going to be a new title being a city council person. But in many ways, it's a continuation of the work that Emmanuel Remy has been doing for many, many years. I mean, when I was taking a look, I was thinking about the number of projects that Emmanuel has worked on and that we've worked on together in that community, and just a few of them came to my mind. One that jumped out to me immediately was the work that Emmanuel did with the Columbus Police and the code inspectors to eliminate the motels up in the Northland area that were a tremendous crime scourge for the people of the Northland community. And then there was the work that was done on the Morse Road, the redevelopment of Morse Road, to make sure that that once thriving economic hub of North Columbus would be thriving once again. And if those of you who've been up to the Morse Road, you've seen the kind of work that's been done. And a lot of that can be attributed to the hard work and effort that Emmanuel has put in. We're going to be celebrating next week a CMAX program on Cleveland Avenue that's going to provide needed transportation to thousands of people in the northeastern part of Franklin County. That also is a project that Emmanuel has worked on for years to make sure that we have needed transportation services to the people of those communities. And when they opened up the YMCA New American Center to welcome new Americans that are predominant members of the community in the Northland area, there was Emmanuel Remy and other leaders of the Northland community there to welcome and to help establish this center so that people would feel welcome in this Columbus community. And even as something as like community pride, Emmanuel Remy's right there on the 4th of July every year, making sure that the only 4th of July celebration that's a community celebration in the city of Columbus, the Northland Parade, continues year after year. I mean, these are the type of things that Emmanuel Remy has been doing for years, not as a paid person or not as an elected official, but just as a person who's dedicated to our Columbus community. And it's this kind of commitment to the nitty-gritty that makes the neighborhoods tick, is why Emmanuel Remy is a wonderful addition to this city council, and the work that he's been doing in the Northland area will be a continuation of his commitment, and it will be something that now all residents of Columbus will be the beneficiaries of. But there's another reason why I'm happy to celebrate the appointment of Emmanuel Remy to Columbus City Council. Because of the current political environment in our nation, most of the progressive agenda of this country has been thrust to the local level. This is where the progressive agenda of our country is going to be enacted, if it's going to be enacted, because of the situation that we're facing nationally. And so now, more than ever, we need leaders like you see up here on the dais, leaders who are committed to making sure that we have safe and honorable neighborhoods, leaders who are committed to making sure that we have economic opportunity for everybody, and leaders in a Columbus community that are committed to making sure that we understand the true value and the true meaning of the words that are say, give me your tired, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Now more than ever, we need leaders, more leaders like Emmanuel Remy. Congratulations, Emmanuel, on your appointment.
Well, good evening. Thank you for the honor of speaking at tonight's swearing-in ceremony. My name is Ty Marsh, and although I worked here at City Hall, I got to tell you, this is the first time I ever stood up on this dais, on this stage, and to do so with Mayor Ginther and Council President Hardin and Councilmember Mitch Brown and Priscilla Tyson and Jaiza Page is quite an honor. In our wonderful and precious democracy, certain components are required to ensure its sustainability, its resiliency, and that it advances the common good. One such component is securing citizens to lead our government who are passionate, authentic, will fight for what they believe in, will treat others respectfully, and will always try to do the right thing. Throughout its history, Columbus has been fortunate to have had such leaders serving in electoral positions who have helped create and shape the great city that Columbus has become. Yes, we've had mayors and council members who, shall we say, had somewhat eclectic personalities, who took actions that caused us to ponder the question, what were they thinking? And who made decisions that the citizenry did not support. Yet regardless of whether we agreed with their decisions, we believe and trust that they had the best interest of the city at heart, that they were making their decisions through the lens of their principles, experience, and wisdom, ultimately for the betterment of Columbus. We trusted them to do the right thing because we all had the shared value of Columbus and our future. And that's the essence of our democracy. In the past 2 years, Columbus has experienced and continues to experience a generational change of leadership in our civic and governmental institutions, our schools, our business community, and here at City Hall. We respect and honor our past leaders and thank them for their service and sacrifice. Columbus is a better community because of their efforts. Yet, as President John F. Kennedy stated, the torch has been passed on to a new generation of leaders. And we are excited by their vision for the future, their passion for Columbus, their approach to the issues and the initiatives that they will start to improve our lives. Change can be scary, yet change is good. As former Mayor Coleman used to say, to stay the same is to fall behind. We can't stay the same and we're not going to fall behind. We have no choice as a city. Today, another new generational leader is being sworn in as a member of Columbus City Council to represent over 800,000 residents on issues and challenges and opportunities that face our city. He is one who accepts the awesome responsibility of the office, is willing and able to step up for the advancement of Columbus, and who brings the values and principles so critical to our democracy. He learned many of those traits during his involvement and leadership in the Northland community. Northland area of Columbus is a special place. I lived there many years ago, but truly got to know it during my time working for Mayor Coleman, notwithstanding the daily tutorials that Fran Ryan gave me every day. Mayor Coleman wanted to lift the entire community by focusing on the redevelopment of the former Northland Mall site. Concurrently, he felt that rebuilding Morse Road to become a pedestrian-friendly and aesthetically pleasing avenue was an important component. At times, it became a frustrating process, and it took a long time. But Mayor Coleman was adamant in saying, we're not just building a street or developing property, we're building a community. Achieving success in these projects required working with the Northland Community Council, and in so doing, I experienced and appreciated the collaborative spirit, the can-do positive optimism, the roll-up-your-sleeves approach, and the immense pride demonstrated by the Northland neighbors and their leaders. I first met Emmanuel Remy, and I got to tell you as an aside, so I'm from Scioto County, okay? And the name Remy in Scioto County, as it's spelled here, is pronounced Remy. And poor Judge and I were talking because we don't know if it's Remy or Ramy, but since we're in Columbus, we're going to stay with the tradition and call it Remy, okay? So I first met Mr. Remy later when I was working with Mo Dion and Adam Troutner of the Stonehenge Company, who were taking Mayor Coleman's vision of Northland Mall site and turning it into an exciting reality. And what a success it has become. Emmanuel was a hands-on community leader in his role as chair of the Northland Community Council. He understood the value of the public-private partnership, of seeking input and inclusion from all, maintaining transparent communications, and developing an action-oriented agenda to achieve success. He, too, was all about building a community. In seeking to serve on Columbus City Council, Emmanuel did not approach this opportunity as a means to impose Northland's way on the rest of the city, or to require other neighborhoods to adopt the development and safety programs that worked at Northland. Nor does he view his role as being a ward representative for Northland. Rather, he saw the position as an opportunity to serve all of Columbus by sharing Northland's successful ways with other neighborhoods, and through collaborative teamwork, find solutions that best serve individual neighborhoods as well as lifting the entire city. Because this is who Emmanuel is. He's a collaborator. He's a doer. He's a respectful communicator. And he's a team player who cares and tries to do the right thing. He's also a successful businessman, a neighbor, a father, and a husband. He is, in the true essence of the word, a citizen of Columbus. And those are the characteristics, those are the values, the experience, and principles that Columbus must continue to have and demand in its leaders of every generation. So today, Emmanuel Remy will stand before you, before his family, and before God, to take an oath of office by swearing on a family Bible that he will serve to the best of his abilities to carry out the duties of his new position as a city council member for the great city of Columbus. We who are witnessing this tonight have a duty and obligation to help him succeed. This doesn't mean that we're always going to agree with him. No, we're not, Emmanuel. But it does mean that we will hold him accountable to the oath that he takes and in turn support him to the best of our abilities. Because if he succeeds, Columbus succeeds. I am confident that he will succeed. I, like everyone in this room, am confident that our city will continue to succeed in the future. As Mayor Ginther has stated, our best days as a city are still ahead. And so that's why I'm standing here today, to express my respect and support for Emmanuel, because I'm very proud of him, to wish him and all of our city leaders the very best, to acknowledge the love and support in this room for our great city, and finally to thank Councilmember Emmanuel Remy for the honor and opportunity to speak to you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ty and David and Buzz, and great job on the pledge there. Thank you again for that. We're almost to the swearing in, but we have a special guest with us tonight, McKenna Sinclair Hensley, who I wanted to give you a little bit more information about because she is incredibly accomplished. She's going to perform the poem, "Oh, the Places You'll Go," which we are all familiar with, by Dr. Seuss. She did this past weekend at the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists' 31st Annual Labor Salute to Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. But just a few things from her bio, because she is quite accomplished. She is a 17-year-old student at Fort Hays Arts, emphasis on arts and Academic High School. She's also, at the same time, a student at The Ohio State University. She has a 4.1 grade point average. I don't think I ever came quite close to that myself. Just saying. She's a member of both the National Honor Society and the National Japanese Honor Society. She is the founder and president of the Fort Hays Diversity Club, which focuses on the impacts of societal problems of students of high school age. Through this organization, she has become the creative mind behind the school newspaper. She's going to enter her 4th year with the Delta GEMS program, an outreach initiative for girls in the Columbus community sponsored by Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Her participation has enabled her to participate in community service and earn social and pre-professional training towards employment and college opportunities. But listen to this. She's considering a career in physical medicine and sports rehab with an emphasis in sports medicine. Her sports-related research through Children's Hospital Research Institute is published and available. She also plans to continue her studies in Japanese and intends to return to Japan before she graduates from high school. McKenna has been a performer all her life. She began speaking in the Martin Luther King Jr. oratorical contests at the age of 10, has won city and state level contests multiple years. She enjoys singing in the school choir and has performed individually around the city of Columbus. Please join me in welcoming McKenna Sinclair Hensley to the podium. Yes, here you go.
I think you guys can see me over here. Okay. First, I'd like to thank soon-to-be Councilmember Remy for inviting me tonight, and I'd like to thank you all for your time and attention. I will be performing "All the Places You'll Go" by Dr. Seuss, and I hope the words that I say to you will ring true in your hearts. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head and you have feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy. You'll decide where to go. You look up and down streets to come over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up, you'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the old gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you'll top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You'll get all hung up in a prickly perch and the gang will fly on and you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump. And the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun, because unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to the place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you can sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much could you lose? How much could you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find for a mind maker-upper to make up his mind. You'll get so confused that you'll start into race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place. The waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for him to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for the Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you will escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you're right high, ready for anything under the sky, ready because you're that kind of guy. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone, whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that will scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you'll go though the weather be foul. On you'll go though your enemies prowl. On you'll go though the hack and crack sow. Onward at many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft. And never mix up your right foot with your left. And where you succeed, yes, you will indeed, 98 3/4% guaranteed, and you'll move mountains. So be your name Buckspam or Bixby or Bray, or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places, today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Thank you.
So put me in front of a microphone before I swear in. Mr. Remy. I've had a lot of time to spend with Mr. Remy, and I think I'm right, Representative Leland. I just want to say that the public service is always a hard thing to do. I don't think Emmanuel and his family know what they're getting into quite yet. But I have told Elizabeth and her children, her beautiful children, that my husband and I are here because, as all the public officials in the room know, service just doesn't come from Mr. Emmanuel Remy, it comes from their family too. And so I want to take the opportunity to thank them for serving the city of Columbus before I swear Emmanuel in. I, Emmanuel Remy,
I, Emmanuel Remy,
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Charter of the City of Columbus, Ohio,
and the Charter of the City of Columbus, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
impartially
discharge the duties of the office of a member of City Council
as a member of City Council
of the City of Columbus, Ohio,
of the City of Columbus, Ohio,
during my continuance in said office.
during my continuance in said office.
Congratulations, Councilmember Remy.
Wow. I am truly in awe and honored to be standing here before you today. The people that are on the dais with me are very important and very special to me in my journey to this place today. I couldn't have done it without my wonderful wife, support, my children, my parents who are sitting in the front today, my brothers here from Chicago, my in-laws are sitting back there. And quite honestly, without all of your input, friendship, love, and support, that's what brought me here today, and I can't thank you enough. It's truly humbling to get into this role. There certainly has been a lot of whirlwind activity in the last, I don't know how many days it's been, but it sometimes seems like it's been 6 weeks, but in others, it just happened yesterday. And there's the gravity of having 875,000 people to worry about and to work collaboratively with my colleagues has started to sink in. I'm not done thanking people. I'm not going to try to thank everybody because the list would be long and I didn't inevitably leave somebody out. But I want to really thank my colleagues, Councilmember Brown, Councilmember Tyson, Councilmember Page, Council President Hardin, and of course Councilmember Brown and Stenziano. People run in and out all the time because collectively we're trying to make sure we're everywhere at one time. So it doesn't mean anything because somebody's not here. We're always on the run, and I'm learning that quickly. You got to move fast. So I'd also like to thank Aaron Gibbons, who's served as my aide during this time, and my future aide that will start next week, Jeff Carter, Nancy Solly, who's helped so much in this transition and trying to get up to speed, and of course Councilmember Ryan, who's been a great supporter, and I see Bob Weiler. We've had many discussions and talks about what the best things are for this city, and I value your opinion, and thank you so much for the time that you've spent with me. Everybody else, of course, you all had a playing role in how I came to be. Tonight, I took the oath of office on a family Bible for my in-laws, great-grandparents, I believe, from, I believe it was, 1884? And it's in German. And when I saw it, I thought to myself, you know, this is indicative of what Northland's about, what the city of Columbus is about, our new Americans that are coming here. And what's fascinating about it, they're coming from all continents. There's not one predominant continent that brings in new Americans here. They come in and they get settled, but then they might struggle to move to that next level. And I think about when the great-grandparents bought that Bible in German because they probably were struggling to learn English at the time, and so many of our new Americans are doing that today. And we worked very hard in the Northland area to make sure that they have the services and to at least settle here, but now we got to take it to the next level. And those people deserve the opportunity to set up a business and to be assimilated amongst the rest of us. And so I look forward to that opportunity. I look forward to the opportunity to working with those groups and trying to help take it to the next level. And I think I'd be remiss not to say, to lead them to home ownership, which is the career that that I have chosen. So it's a special time in Columbus. We have, as you all know, it's been a phenomenal time in the past few decades, but we've got some really exciting things ahead, and I am just absolutely honored to join the team behind me and that are out and about to help take this mission further. I'm sorry, the mayor as well. Andy's been a great support. Mayor Ginther's been a great supporter, and we certainly look forward to the opportunity to take this city of Columbus to the next level, the Columbus way. Thank you all for coming this evening. I hope you have the opportunity to join us tonight at Dempsey's, and I appreciate all your support. Thank you.